Welcome to OWAD Today. I'm Sophie, the pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue exploring ocean/industrial age concepts that first introduced by Japanese scholars and easily carried over into Chinese because we share the kanji, the same characters as such. 公己 is today's expression. And you can see the three eras 2000 years ago, and the traditional Chinese, which came probably a similar time, but further streamlined and digitized version of that. And this is a simplified version. And you can see a lot of overlapping, but it does get gradually simpler and simpler. So 供给 offer enough is the translation for supply. And I think it's an interesting way because supply, as a Western economic concept, supply, if we define what supply is to provide enough, not oversupply or undersupply, but the ideal kind of supply. And this offer enough is a type of supply idealized. Okay. 供 offer, how that was made. You can see three parts here. The left side is a human figure. We see that a lot. It's a leftward facing human figure. This is the front part of the body, and then wrap around is a back torso. That's how Chinese symbolize human as a profile view and the leftward facing particularly. Then the top here, almost like a cooking pot, right? But cooking pot is different. Cooking pot only need the handles on the top. What about a horizontal line there? Okay, they explain that this is number 20, made of two tens. Very logical. Number 10 in Chinese is a cross symbol. Nothing to do with classification. Simply it's a roping technology to keep record going. That we have the vertical line as a rope. Second vertical line intersecting with this rope to signify there's a knot. But because knot on the line is hard to express, right? To make that explicit, this horizontal line is made. So this horizontal line, do this, that's a number 10. And number 10 is our 10 fingers. That's a human body, I guess, based on human body anatomy based concept. But a 20 is, I guess, include your toes as well. In ancient times, probably the volume of transaction or in daily life, we don't need to go too big of a number. So 20 probably ancient times is already signifying a lot. It's 10 fingers, 10 toes together. So simply two tens next to each other, and then somebody connect the bottom of this cross, right? Two crosses, and then the bottom is connected, make it more, I guess, integrated. It's not like separated of 10, 10. Things can get distorted, but if you connect them, they are more of a unity. Okay, then we have left, right, two three finger hand symbols. So Chinese, normally when we show hand gesture, made it into a concept, we normally choose right hand to show. When we show double right and left hand, that almost give you the sense of when we handle something double-handed. I mean, in English, we have single-handed, right? Means just small case. I could just single-handedly handle it. No biggie, right? But if we don't have the expression of double-handedly, but Chinese do, we have this double hand handling something, meaning take something seriously, right? Well, I'm just using one language to explain another. May or may not be the case here. Just show both of your hands are in the frame. So you're doing something. When both hands in the frame, when you're double-handedly doing something, as far as my understanding of Chinese culture, which is Japanese to an extent, right, overlapping a little bit, that it does show respect. If you, well, I guess this came from the contemporary visualization of the ancient times practice, the the courtesies in ancient times. When you present something to somebody in a higher power position, you would double hand and hold it on top of your hand. So with that inferred as if you double hand doing something, that means you show a lot of respect. Now, 20 double hand, meaning at least 20 people. I guess in terms of head counting, 20 is a lot to count. It's almost like the whole household number of people and respectively doing something. And it's a human behavior. So all this, three elements paired together simply means people gathering, at least 20 of them, right? Simply means a crowd of people doing something respectively. And what is that? It is an ancient practice of offering, or I call it a divine communication. So you're trying to, with your own human mind, human material like food or incense, to express or negotiate with something that beyond your control or understanding, which in ancient times totally classified as divinity, something beyond you, right? Kind of give me better weather condition to grow my crops, things like that. So that gathering of people respectively doing something, that kind of ancient practice as offering. So that's the concept of offer. Now, 给 is normally how this character is pronounced. But in this case, when it's right after 公, it becomes 给, and 给, I translate as enough. It's equivalent to today's popular word of abundance. When people talk about AI, right? It's going to lead to a life or society of abundance. Okay, I guess this abundance, this sense of abundance has been going on not just through AI, like all through history. We know how starved back then people were, right? Food security was only kind of a minority thing, as not a constant thing. Nowadays, it's almost like a given, at least in big part of the world. So this enough means enough people have enough things for their need to meet the enough, not oversupply, just enough. And how that was expressed, we have the fabric symbol on the left side, 丝, okay, as you can see here, right? China, I guess one of the biggest well-known export is silk. Was invented in China, monopolized in China for a long time, and kind of associated with China. Silk Road, right? This silk symbol was made of this drapey thing, or the root thing, like however you want to read it, you can read it multiple ways, with two spoons connected by common thread. So it either signifies that it's plant-based, you got a root, or this is the fabric that's a draping shape in two ways. But this symbol is commonly used to mean either thread or fabric or clothing. Chinese can think really in different stages of things and unified under one character, one icon. Never have a problem, have to box things up. Things just transfer, like moving around, shifting around a lot. Okay. And the right side, we have the mouse symbol. So here we talk about it's not a pot. This is a pot. Mouse symbol came from cookware, the pot. And these are the two handles. And cookware eventually transferred to mean to indicate the diner, the eater, because that's the main function, I guess, main task in ancient lives to make sure everybody get enough food. And then we have this triangle thing, means a crowd of, okay, I guess here, both the 20 and this triangle means gathering, means lots of them, lots of mouths. And next to the fabric thing means all of these people, this many of mouths are supplied just enough with fabric. So we talked about well fed, but also well clothed, right? Probably didn't really emphasize that enough because without a proper clothing, or probably would last longer than without, enough food. So the consequence of clothing versus feeding on different level, but the concept is the same. Like you have enough fabric made for this gathering of mouths, like this group of people. That's enough. So offer enough is this idealized quantity of supply. You don't want to overstock. I work for wholesaler and retailer a little bit. I understand like supply chain is critical. It's quantity sensitive because that matters a lot how you manage your inventory, and time sensitive. If you match what you're offering to the right season when people need it, they get what they want at that time. So 供给 supply is really in today's global trade context, 供给, when we think about supply, it's this, but it all came from having enough fabric for people. And that's just offer enough. Don't oversupply. That's the concept of supply. All right. Thank you for your time. See you another day.